Master Jedi Prime, also known as Kaylee from the Thompson-Nicola Regional Library, and I'm here today to celebrate Star Wars Day with you. Today is May the 4th, and for those of you who don't know why that's Star Wars Day, think really hard about what characters say a certain very famous quote in Star Wars. Sometimes comes from Obi-Wan, sometimes from Yoda. That's right, may the Force be with you. And so May the 4th sounds a lot like May the 4th. So May the 4th is Star Wars Day. It's every year and we're here to celebrate it together today. Thank you for joining our Rebel Alliance Training Academy today. Whenever the dark side rises up, whether it's the Empire led by Palpatine and Darth Vader or the First Order led by Snoke and Kylo Ren, there's always a light side to counter that dark. There's always some people who know that they want to protect what's good in the world, what they love in the world, and they will fight for what they believe in. And so that's what we're going to do here today as the Rebel Alliance. We're going to fight for what we believe in, fight for what's good, and learn how to be great Jedis and great Resistance members. So today we're going to complete a training academy to defeat the dark side. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to complete these 5 steps. Number 1, make a bubble wand lightsaber. You're going to need that lightsaber if you're going to fight off that dark side. Number 2, make a lightsaber bookmark. Number 3, make a baby Yoda puppet like the child from the Mandalorian. Number 4, make yourself a trusty droid sidekick out of toilet paper rolls. And last but not least, number 5, I'm going to teach you a lightsaber sequence so you can use it to defend yourself against the dark side. Okay, so the first task of your mission today is to build your own lightsaber. I'm going to show you guys what you need here. Basically all you need is a bubble wand and a flashlight and a pair of scissors and some hot glue. So for the bubble wand, I just got this from the dollar store. I already cut off the bottom here, but you can get any color. The dollar store has bubble wands all the time, and it's really cool because you can use it for 2 things. You can use it for bubbles, and you can play with the bubbles first and blow all the bubbles and have lots of fun, and then that way you empty it out, and you need to have it empty to be able to build your lightsaber. So you can do that, and then you just need to cut off the end. It depends on, I will start by saying it depends on which bubble wand you can find at the dollar store, what kind of flashlight you can find. When you're at the dollar store, try to look to see if you can find a flashlight that looks like it might make a cool lightsaber hilt, and also to look and see how big the bubble wands are and if they will fit with your flashlight. So this will vary depending on what you can find at the dollar store. Some of them will just be, the opening will just be fine already and you won't have to cut off this end part. But for the ones that I found, I ended up having to cut off the end so that I could fit the flashlight inside of it. So I just used a pair of scissors to cut through this plastic here and cut off the bottom. And then I have the flashlight, and all we're gonna do is insert the flashlight into, oh, and you'll need some batteries for whatever flashlight it is that you purchase as well, what kind of batteries it requires. So you see how we just fit the flashlight into the bubble wand there? So it already looks like a lightsaber shape. And then when we turn it on, you'll be able to see it glow. And we just need some hot glue to be able to make that part. So we're gonna take our glue gun. We're gonna put some hot glue around the edges of our flashlight here. And just want to get it near the top because we just want to let it rest near the top there. Okay, and of course if you're a young child at home, please make sure that you have an adult with you while you're doing this part, and that the adult is the one handling the hot glue gun. Okay, so as you can see there, I have now fit on the hilt to the lightsaber. And I have yellow, which I think is kind of cool because for anybody who knows Star Wars, there are yellow lightsabers, but we don't get to see them very much in the Star Wars movies. In some of the later ones we do see a few Jedi with yellow, but it's a more rare color, so it's pretty cool that we get to make one. But you can get blue, green, red if you want to be on the dark side, and choose what do you want? So that looks like it's sticking pretty well there. And the only other thing we need to do while we're waiting for it to dry is get some tape, whether it's duct tape or electrical tape. I have this aluminum foil tape actually that is has like an aluminum foil outside here, and then it's like a sticky part on the back side here, and you can just cut that and peel it off and adhere it. But whichever, if you can get duct tape, if you can get whatever colors that you want, it's just to tape around the hilt here, around the flashlight, just to make it look a little bit more like a lightsaber hilt. So I'm just gonna do a small little piece here, and we're gonna peel off that back sticker, and then I'm just going to apply it to my lightsaber hilt here. Maybe cover up this little logo. And put it around here. And voila! Look, that already looks more like a lightsaber, doesn't it? I can do it on the back side too, but right now I'm just going to leave it like that so that we can save some time here. But I will also point out that you can put some black electrical tape too, so I have some of that. You could put some on there if you wanted to, you know, design your hilt a little bit more, maybe put some buttons, maybe do whatever you want to make it look a little fancier. And then of course you'll already have your batteries in your flashlight, so mine has a little button on the bottom here. I'm just going to press the button and activate my lightsaber. Oh, you can see it a little bit better. Awesome, and now we have our lightsaber, all ready for our task number 5 of our mission later, to learn how to use our lightsabers in a duel. All right, so task number 2 is to make a lightsaber bookmark, and this is actually really easy. So you can use a popsicle stick of whatever color you would like. You can either buy them colored already, which is what I did, or you can paint the ones that you have at home. I just chose the ones here that are the most common kind of lightsaber shades. Obviously these 3 are the most common, having the blue, the green, and the red. But there's also purple and yellow. Those are lightsaber colors. If anyone knows who has the purple one in the movies, bonus points. Answer is Mace Windu. So I'm gonna choose, let's do the dark side right now. I'm gonna choose the red lightsaber, and we're going to add just a little bit of electrical tape. You can use electrical tape, you can use duct tape, you can use any sort of color tape to make your hilt. Maybe you wanna have a pink hilt, and you can use some pink duct tape, whatever you have at home. I'm gonna do the classic black, and I'm just gonna wind it around here. I'm gonna cut a little bit more off, and as I'm winding it around, I'm gonna try and go up a little bit just to thicken the hilt, make it a little bit bigger. There we go. Perfect. So there's my little lightsaber with a hilt, and if you want to fancy it up, you can do things like adding more tape to it. I have some more of that silver aluminum foil tape that I can use, so I'm just going to peel off a little piece here and add it to my lightsaber, just so you can tell a little bit more that it's a lightsaber. And of course that's not a perfect position, but it kind of gives you the idea. And that's how simple it is. And then you can use this as a bookmark. You can take your book, you can use it, just slide it in there, little popsicle stick bookmark. This one's even the dark side one to go with my book that has Darth Vader on the cover. There we go. Task number 2 completed. All right, and our third task was to make a baby Yoda like the child from the Mandalorian. For those of you who haven't seen the Mandalorian, the child is the name that they give the baby Yoda, the character that's there. They don't actually name it, they just call it the child. So we're gonna make a little puppet for this baby Yoda. So the first thing you wanna do is get a paper lunch bag from the dollar store. Just any sort of paper lunch bag that you could find there. And then you want to turn it so it's like the flat side up. And that's where we're going to make our puppet face, right on the side here. So we're going to put I already pre-cut these, but of course you can, this will be a step that you'll have to do, but I just used some construction paper. So I found some green construction paper, some sort of reddish pink construction paper, and then I had some foam pieces. So I have some black foam for the eyes and little bits of white foam for the eyes as well to give it a little bit more character. And then we're gonna have just my little Sharpie here that we can use to draw on the little face afterwards. So the first thing we're gonna do is put some glue on the back, and I'm just using, you know, regular white school glue for this, but if you want to make it stick a little bit better, you're welcome to use glue gun or something that you think would be a little bit, have a little bit more endurance and last a little bit longer. So we have that one there. We have the other ear that's gonna go on here. All right, and we want to put the ears on first because then when we put the face on, it's gonna cover the ears and make it look a little bit more natural. So now I have a square that's cut out for the face shape, and same thing, we're just gonna put a little bit of glue all over the outside of, maybe a little bit on the inside too, of the face, and oh, like you can already see the Yoda shape coming together, can't you? So here we go, there's our little Yoda face, all glued down, pressed down, and now we need to do the face, the eyes. So we're gonna have one of the black eyes here, and use my white glue for this, but if you want to use, oh, dripped a little there, if you want to use the hot glue gun for this part, you can do that as well. Put that one down. Alright, and then we want to use our little eyes. So we're putting like a little pupil, and there's just, I have one more little dot of that we want to put on here. We're gonna do sort of like the starry-eyed looking baby Yoda. Little dot there. And look at that innocent, cute looking little baby Yoda. And you can play around with this, of course, as well, whatever you think looks good. But there's our little starry-eyed Yoda looking up at the Mandalorian like, please save me, please help me. And now we're gonna draw on our little face. So we're gonna do a little nose in the middle. And you can do this with whatever colors you want. I'm just gonna use a little Sharpie right now, but feel free to get creative with colors. And we have like a little mouth to draw on there. And as you can see, my drawing is not perfect. It's not about perfection, it's just about having fun, right? Here we go. We'll do like the little creases in the forehead. Doesn't have quite as many creases as Yoda yet. Not as many cares and worries. Alright, how does that look? And then you can do the body. So again, you can use whatever colors you want here. I'm just going to use my Sharpie, but feel free to sort of flesh out the body however you like. You can do a little cape, or like its little robe that it wears. You can have little detailing on the sides, little buttons, little stitching. Maybe it has, you know, a little wrinkly skin that's showing through. Ta-da! And there's our Yoda puppet. And now you can see it's, I don't want to move it too much yet because it's not fully dry, but now you can see our little puppet Yoda. Does it look like the baby Yoda from the Mandalorian? There we go. So you put your hand inside the bag and you can flap the Yoda. There we go. Task 3 completed. Good job, guys. And our fourth task was to make a toilet paper roll droid. Basically, you're making yourself a droid sidekick, so you can do it as a toilet paper roll one, like the one that I have here. I also did a paper plate version as well, so you could choose BB-8 because it's a little bit better as a paper plate since BB-8 is a big circular droid. So I will show you both options. So this BB-8 is just like a dinner plate size, and then you can cut another dinner plate in half and then just sort of cut out this part of the plate in half here to make the BB-8 size head. And I pre-cut out some orange sort of spherical patterns that are on BB-8, and these can all get glued on in whatever configuration you like. I'm going to use just some white glue to do the gluing for that right now. But again, if you want something a little bit longer lasting, if you have an adult with you, feel free to use some hot glue gun or whatever other adhesive is your preferred one for crafts. So I have a little stripe there. I'm just gonna put the little like eye thing that's on BB-8. It's not really an eye, but that's what it looks like to me. So we're gonna put that right in the center here. And then there's just little bits to make BB-8's helmet, I used a staple to attach the head to the body there. I find the stapler just works better than glue, but you could also certainly use a hot glue gun. I wouldn't recommend using the white glue for this one just because it doesn't stick very well, and it ends up falling all the time, and then it gets really frustrating to keep it on there. So, oh, I've just lost one of my pieces. Oh, there it is. So I would recommend using staples or a hot glue gun, something that you know is really gonna stick. You could also use, if you want the head to swivel at all, there's always those sort of duotang pieces that you can put on that will help make it swivel and move. Okay, so this one I'm just gonna put here and get the basic shape of it done. And glue this down using my white glue, which I'm apparently running out of, so sorry about all the shaking there. And of course during these times too, like the less you have to go out the better, so just whatever you have on hand at home works well, even if all you have is the roll-on glue. And you can just use that instead and it'll still work. Just let that set a bit, and I'm just going to put one more piece at the bottom here. Do it this way. Here we go. There's my little BB-8 droid. So you can make a paper plate BB-8 droid. You can see that. And if you don't want to do BB-8, you can do the classic R2-D2. So this one I'm going to use a hot glue gun for, just for the sake of time for the video, but if you don't want to use a hot glue gun, you can certainly use white glue and it should work pretty well. But I'm just going to show you, so the toilet paper roll, I've decided to use foam. You can also use construction paper instead of foam pieces. The foam I just thought would give it a little bit more of like a 3D effect and help it pop a bit more, but construction paper would certainly work just as well. Now that you guys have completed your own droid sidekick, we're ready for our lightsaber training. Good job, everybody. All right, so now make sure you check out all the links below. There'll be lots more ideas for fun things you guys can do at home. Now that you've completed tasks 1 through 4, we're gonna learn how to use our lightsabers to defend ourselves against the dark side. So everybody get your new lightsabers that you made, get those bubble-on lightsabers, and get ready to practice. So first thing we wanna do is to activate our lightsabers. How do we activate our lightsabers? Well, we're going to hold our lightsabers up in our hands like this in a position that makes us look really cool. So tip away from our bodies like this, and we're going to activate lightsaber. What did you guys think of my lightsaber skills? Pretty cool. With lots of practice, you can have them like that too. But first we're gonna learn the basics. So we had our cool pose that we're all gonna strike. Cool pose. All right. And the first thing we can do is learn that one little trick. I'll show you guys my trick that I did at the beginning there. We're gonna have one hand up on the top of the hilt, one hand at the bottom, and we're going to tilt it forwards, 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 and as it's going forwards, I'm gonna let my hand relax here and let it kind of dip down and then snap it back up. And you're like letting go with most of your fingers as it goes around. So again, very slowly, slowly, slowly. Let go with most of your fingers and then snap it around again. Snap, snap. And you can, even if you want to help give it a bit more spin, hold on to the bottom of the hilt as you go, and then you can kind of use that to whip it around and propel it forwards. Alright, now that we're ready and we look super cool and we're ready to take on the dark side, so we're going to learn a little sequence today. So we're going to be doing our cool pose. We're going to go over the head once, over the head the other way. We're going to go down to one leg and down to the other side, and then once across. And of course, if you're doing this with somebody at home, when you go across, make sure you duck and maybe jump when it comes sweeping down towards your legs. All right, let's try that together. Cool pose. And left side, right side, cut down to the leg, cut down to the other leg, and swipe across. Let's do it one time really fast. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, whoosh! All right. Remember, as Poe Dameron would say, they win by making us think we are alone. We are not alone. And as Rose Tico would say, that's how we're going to win. Not by fighting what we hate, but by saving what we love. Alright, and that's a wrap on our May the 4th video. Thanks so much for joining us for our Star Wars program today. I hope everybody had lots of fun. And remember, may the Force be with you, always.